The phone rang in the dead of night, shattering the silence of Eleanor Hayes's modest cottage like a thunderclap from her past. At 93, she had outlived wars, loves, and secrets that could topple empires. But tonight, the weight of one unspoken truth clawed at her soul, demanding release. With trembling hands, she dialed the City Hall's emergency line, her voice cutting through the operator's drowsiness. "Get me the mayor, or this town will burn with the fire of forgotten sins." Eleanor had always been a fixture in Willow Creek, a quiet riverside town in upstate New York where time moved like molasses. Her days were spent in the faded armchair by the window, watching children play in the park across the street, their laughter a balm for the ghosts that haunted her. But lately, the ghosts had grown louder. Dreams of 1942 replayed in vivid color, the smoke-filled air of wartime factories, the sharp crack of injustice, and a face she could never forget. She knew she couldn't take it to her grave. Not anymore. The next morning, Eleanor dressed in her Sunday best, a wool dress from the 50s, its fabric worn thin, but her resolve ironclad. She leaned on her cane, each step towards City Hall a defiance against the arthritis that gnawed at her bones. The receptionist, a young woman named Mia with wide eyes and a ponytail, stared as Eleanor pounded the desk. "I need to see Mayor Harlan," Eleanor declared, her voice steady despite the quiver in her lips. "Tell him it's about the old mill fire. And that Rose Hayes sent me." Mia hesitated, but something in Eleanor's gaze, fierce, unyielding, made her buzz the intercom. Mayor Harlan Thompson was a man in his 50s, polished and ambitious, with a smile that won elections and hid calculations. He had built his career on Willow Creek's revitalization, turning the crumbling mill district into luxury condos, erasing the town's industrial scars. When Mia ushered Eleanor in, Harlan rose with practiced courtesy. "Mrs. Hayes, what an honor. My grandmother spoke of you often." Eleanor sat without invitation, her eyes locking onto his. "Your grandmother was my best friend, Harlan. And what I'm about to tell you will shatter everything you think you know about this town and your family." As the words hung in the air, Eleanor's mind drifted back to her youth. Born in 1932, she had grown up during the Great Depression, scraping by in a family of 8. Willow Creek was a mill town then, alive with the hum of looms and the sweat of immigrant workers. Eleanor started at the textile factory at 14, her small hands deft at threading needles. There, she met Rose Thompson, Harlan's grandmother, a spirited girl with dreams bigger than the river that powered the mills. They became inseparable, sharing secrets under the willow trees, vowing to escape the drudgery. But war changed everything. In 1941, as Pearl Harbor pulled America into the fray, the mills shifted to producing uniforms. Black workers from the South flooded in, seeking jobs, but segregation's shadow loomed. Eleanor witnessed the divides, separate lunchrooms, unequal pay, and whispers of resentment. One night in 1942, a fire erupted in the old wing of the mill. Officially, it was an accident, faulty wiring. 23 workers perished, all black. The town mourned briefly, then moved on. But Eleanor knew the truth. She had seen it. "I was there that night," Eleanor began, her voice dropping to a whisper that filled the room with tension. Harlan leaned forward, his coffee forgotten. "Rose and I were working late, sneaking a smoke break. We heard arguing loud, vicious. It was your great-uncle, Elias Thompson, the mill owner. He was furious about a union push led by a black foreman named Jeremiah Cole. Elias shouted slurs, threats. Then, we smelled gasoline." Harlan's face paled. "That's impossible. Family records say Elias was a hero, tried to save people." Eleanor shook her head, tears welling. "He started that fire, Harlan. To break the union, to send a message. Rose and I hid in the shadows, terrified. We saw him pour the fuel, strike the match. As the flames roared, he slipped away, leaving those men to die. Jeremiah was my friend, had a wife, kids. I wanted to scream, but Rose pulled me back. 'They'll kill us too,' she said. We ran, swore never to speak of it. But guilt ate at us like acid." The mayor sat back, stunned, his world cracking. Eleanor continued, the words pouring out after decades of silence. She described the aftermath, the rushed investigation, Elias's generous donations to widows that bought silence, the town's prosperity built on buried bones. Rose had married into wealth, becoming a Thompson, while Eleanor stayed in the shadows, raising a family on factory wages until retirement. I thought time would heal it, Eleanor said. But seeing those condos rise on the mill site erasing his story, it broke me. Those souls deserve justice. Harlan rubbed his temples, the weight of legacy pressing down. Why now? After all these years. Eleanor reached into her purse, pulling out a yellowed envelope. This. Jeremiah's daughter sent it last month. She's 85 now, found my name in old letters. She begs for the truth before she dies. And Harlan, your family's fortune started with that insurance payout from the fire. Blood money. The room spun with implication. Harlan, descendant of Elias, had unknowingly profited from atrocity. As the meeting stretched into hours, Eleanor felt a catharsis she hadn't known she needed. But doubt crept in. Was she destroying an innocent man for sins of the past? Harlan promised to investigate, but his eyes held fear. Leaving City Hall, Eleanor breathed the crisp air, her step lighter. Yet, the story was far from over. Whispers of her visit spread through Willow Creek like wildfire. Back home, Eleanor sifted through old photos, her with Rose, young and laughing, Jeremiah's smiling face at a company picnic. The phone rang. It was her granddaughter, Lily, a journalist in the city. Gran, I heard you caused a stir. What's going on? Eleanor hesitated, then invited her over. Perhaps it was time to involve the family. Lily arrived that evening, her energy a stark contrast to Eleanor's frailty. At 28, Lily was fierce, with tattoos and a nose for stories. Spill it, Gran. Mayor's office is buzzing. Eleanor recounted the tale, watching Lily's eyes widen. This could be huge, Lily said. But we need proof. Together, they pored over the envelope, faded documents, a singed union pamphlet with Elias's notes. Lily snapped photos, her mind racing. As night fell, Eleanor felt hope flicker. But a knock at the door startled them. It was Harlan, alone, his face ashen. Mrs. Hayes, we need to talk. Privately. Lily stepped aside, but Eleanor's heart pounded. What new shadow was this? Harlan entered, clutching a briefcase. I dug into family archives. You're right, Elias's journals confess it. He called it necessary pruning. But there's more. He opened the case, revealing letters from Rose to Eleanor, never sent. In them, Rose admitted urging Elias to act, fearing the union would bankrupt the mill and their future. My grandmother. She was complicit. Harlan whispered, broken. Eleanor gasped, the twist slicing deep. Rose, her dearest friend, had betrayed them all for security. Tears streamed as memories reshaped. Rose's insistence on silence, her rise to prominence. She chose survival over soul, Eleanor murmured. The revelation bonded them in shared grief. Harlan, tainted by blood, Eleanor, by loyalty. Lily, overhearing, burst in. This changes everything. But Gran, it's not just his story, it's healing. They talked late, forging a plan, public disclosure, reparations for descendants. As dawn broke, Eleanor felt the ghosts quiet. Yet, the headlines were coming, and with them, a town's reckoning. The morning after Harlan's visit, Willow Creek awoke to a subtle unrest, like the river swelling before a storm. Eleanor sat at her kitchen table, the weight of Rose's betrayal settling in her chest like a stone. She had idolized her friend, built a lifetime on their bond, only to learn it was laced with poison. Lily paced, phone in hand. Gran, this is dynamite. If we go public, it'll expose the Thompsons and heal old wounds. Eleanor nodded, but doubt gnawed. Was vengeance worth fracturing more lives? Harlan returned that afternoon, not as mayor, but as a man unraveling. I've contacted Jeremiah's daughter, Alma. She's flying in tomorrow. Wants to meet you. Eleanor's heart raced. Alma, the baby she remembered bouncing on Jeremiah's knee. And the press? She asked. Harlan sighed. I've scheduled a town hall. But Eleanor, my family's fighting back. Cousins denying it, threatening lawsuits. The stakes rose, kitsch dramatic tension thickening the air. As they prepared, Lily uncovered more. Digitized mill records showing payouts, hushed witnesses. Elias bought silence, she said. But a name jumped out. Marcus Hale, a white worker who survived the fire. He was Jeremiah's ally. Maybe he knew. At 95, Marcus lived in a nursing home nearby. Eleanor insisted on visiting. If there's truth left, we'll find it. The nursing home smelled of antiseptic and faded memories. Marcus, frail but sharp-eyed, lit up at Eleanor's name. Ellie Hayes? Thought you'd forgotten us old-timers. She sat by his bed, Harlan and Lily hovering. Marcus, the fire was an accident. His gaze darkened. No, ma'am. Elias said it. I saw him too, but he paid me off, threatened my family. Took the money for my boy's college. Shame colored his words. Jeremiah saved my life once, pulled me from machinery. I owed him better. The confession hit like a wave. Marcus pulled a hidden box from under his bed, a charred badge, Jeremiah's. Kept this as penance. Use it. Tears flowed, Marcus unburdening after 83 years. This twist, an unexpected ally from the past, shifted perspectives. Not all were villains. Some were cowards seeking redemption. Eleanor clasped his hand. You've given us ammunition, Marcus. And forgiveness. Back home, Alma Ayurveda poised woman with Jeremiah's eyes. They embraced in the living room, decades dissolving in sobs. Daddy spoke of you, Alma said. Said you were kind in a cruel world. Eleanor shared the story, Rose's roll drawing gasps. She was scared. Eleanor defended weakly. Alma touched her arm. Fear doesn't excuse murder, but your courage know it honors him. Their bond formed instantly, two women bridged by loss, emphasizing human connection's power. Harlan watched, moved. I'll resign if needed, he offered. But Alma shook her head. No. Use your position for good. Fund scholarships for black families. Rename the park after Daddy. Ideas flowed. A memorial at the mill site. Truth-telling exhibits. The plan infused hope, turning tragedy to triumph. Yet, tension built. That night, Eleanor's phone rang anonymously. Drop it, old woman, or you'll regret it. Harlan's cousins, perhaps. Fear gripped her, but Lily rallied. We're in this together. They alerted police, but the threat underscored the revelation's danger. The town hall loomed. Willow Creek's auditorium buzzed with residents curious, skeptical. Eleanor, flanked by Harlan, Lily, Alma, and Marcus in a wheelchair, took the stage. Her voice, amplified, carried authority. For 83 years, I've carried a secret that poisoned this town. She recounted the fire, Elias's arson, Rose's complicity. Gasps echoed as evidence projected. Journals, letters, the badge. Harlan spoke next, voice breaking. As a Thompson, I apologize. We've profited from pain. Today, we start reparations. Alma added, this isn't revenge, it's restoration. Marcus's testimony sealed it, his frailty amplifying truth's weight. But midway, a twist erupted. A man stood, Elias's grandson, Harlan's cousin, red-faced. Lies. You're senile, old bat. He stormed the stage, but security intervened. In the scuffle, he shouted, Rose was innocent, Elias acted alone. Yet, his denial cracked under scrutiny. Later, emails revealed he'd known, covering tracks. The crowd shifted from doubt to outrage, then empathy. An elderly black woman rose. My uncle died in that fire. Thank you for this. Applause thundered, emotions cresting. Eleanor felt vindicated, the twist of family opposition highlighting resistance to change, but also unity's strength. As the meeting ended, reporters swarmed. Headlines brewed. 93-year-old exposes World War II-era arson. Eleanor returned home exhausted, but soul-light. Lily hugged her. You did it, Gran. Yet, whispers of more secrets lingered. Rose had a diary, hidden. What else might it hold? Alma stayed over, sharing stories of Jeremiah, his love for jazz, dreams for Alma. He'd be proud, she said. Eleanor smiled through tears. We all deserve peace. The night deepened, bonds forging in shared humanity. The next day, national news picked up. Interviews flooded in. Harlan announced initiatives, a foundation for racial justice, funded by Thompson assets. Marcus found closure, visiting Jeremiah's grave with Eleanor. Rest easy, friend, he whispered. But personal twists emerged. Lily confessed, Gran, researching this, I found out Jeremiah was my great-uncle. Through a distant cousin. Eleanor stared. How? Lily explained, a family tree branch, hidden adoptions. We're connected by blood. The revelation stunned, adding layers. Eleanor's fight was familial. Emotions surged, joy, sorrow. Then this is our legacy, Eleanor said, embracing her. As weeks passed, Willow Creek transformed. Murals depicted the fire's victims, schools taught the truth. Eleanor's cottage became a hub visitors seeking wisdom. She felt alive, purpose renewed. Yet, one evening, a package arrived. Rose's diary from Harlan. Found in attic. Read carefully. Trembling, Eleanor opened it. The diary's pages crackled like autumn leaves, each entry a window into Rose's tormented soul. Eleanor read by lamplight, Alma and Lily beside her. Dearest diary, Rose wrote in 1942. Elias rages about the Union. I fear ruin. Tonight, I suggested. God forgive me. Confession spilled. Rose planted the idea, fearing poverty, but regret consumed her. Ellie's eyes haunt me. Jeremiah's screams echo. Later entries showed atonement anonymous donations to widows, but silence persisted. This deepened the twist. Rose wasn't villainous, but human flawed, redeemable. She tried to make amends, Alma said softly. Eleanor closed the book, tears falling. We all carry shadows. Forgiveness is the light. The diary humanized the past, emphasizing mercy's role in healing. Headlines exploded. Grandmother's revelation uncovers World War II atrocity, mayor vows justice. CNN interviewed Eleanor, her story viral. At 93, I spoke for the voiceless, she said, voice steady. Letters poured in, descendants thanking her, others sharing similar tales. Willow Creek became a beacon for reconciliation. But backlash brewed. Online trolls accused fabrication. Harlan faced recall petitions. One night, protesters gathered outside Eleanor's home, signs reading, "Leave history buried." Fear returned, but neighbors countered, forming a protective circle. She's our elder, one shouted. The standoff, tense yet nonviolent, showcased communities' divide in unity. Amid chaos, a surprise visitor, Senator Clara Ruiz, a Latina advocate for civil rights. Your story inspired me, she said. I'm pushing federal recognition of such injustices. Clara, in her 40s, shared her grandmother's migration story, parallels drawing them close. This unexpected ally amplified the narrative, shifting national dialogue. One voice sparks change, Clara told Eleanor, hugging her. With Clara's help, a congressional hearing was set. Eleanor testified in D.C., cane in hand, recounting horrors. Lawmakers listened, moved. This isn't just Willow Creek's shame, it's America's, she declared. Applause echoed. Bills for reparations advanced. The experience invigorated Eleanor, proving age no barrier to impact. Back home, personal growth bloomed. Lily quit her job to write a book on the fire, dedicating it to Eleanor. You're my hero, Gran. Harlan, re-elected on a reform platform, named a scholarship after Jeremiah. Marcus passed peacefully weeks later, his final words, thank you, Ellie. Alma became family, visiting often. They planted a willow tree at the memorial site, symbolizing resilience. For Daddy, Alma said. Eleanor nodded, earth on her hands. And for us all. Yet, one final twist awaited. Digging for the tree, workers unearthed a time capsule from 1942 mill artifacts, including a letter from Jeremiah, to future generations. Fight for equality. Love triumphs hate. The discovery made fresh headlines. Buried letter echoes 93-year-old's revelation. It validated everything, a voice from the grave. Eleanor held the letter, emotions overwhelming. He knew, she whispered. The capsule's contents toured museums, educating thousands. Willow Creek hosted annual remembrances, fostering dialogue. As months turned, Eleanor's health waned. At 94, she reflected on her journey from silence girl to headline maker. Speaking truth freed me, she told Lily. Friends gathered. Harlan, Alma, Clara. Stories flowed, laughter mixing with tears. In quiet moments, Eleanor pondered humanity's core. We err, but redemption awaits those who seek it. Her revelation wasn't destruction, but rebirth for individuals, town, nation. One crisp fall day, Eleanor sat by the window, watching children play. A boy waved. She smiled. Life continued, enriched by her courage. The story spread globally, inspiring elders worldwide to share truths. Eleanor's legacy. Age brings wisdom. Silence breeds injustice. Speak, and worlds change. But whispers of untold tales lingered, other mills, other fires. Perhaps more to uncover. Word count. 1,500. But wait, this is part 3, continuing to build. Wait, adjusting for full 1500, expanding on reflections. Eleanor often wandered to the river, where she and Rose once dreamed. Forgive me, friend, she murmured to the wind. Rose's diary revealed more. Pleas for Eleanor's understanding, hidden acts of kindness. It softened the betrayal, teaching nuance in judgment. Clara's involvement brought media frenzy. Documentaries filmed, Eleanor starred, her frailty contrasting fiery spirit. Kitsch tin lies and truths unveiling, she said. Viewers wept, ratings soared. Harlan's family splintered, some disowned him, others joined the cause. A cousin apologized publicly, donating land for a community center. Reconciliation's ripple effect. Lily's book became a bestseller. Flames of Silence. Royalties funded the foundation. Gran, you're immortal now, Lily teased. Alma and Eleanor traveled to Jeremiah's hometown, meeting extended family. Hugs, stories bonds forged across generations. At the Congressional Award ceremony, Eleanor received a medal for civil courage. This is for the forgotten, she said, voice echoing. Standing ovation. Yet, humility remained. I'm just a grandmother who spoke up. Her words inspired a movement. Elders' Truth Initiative, encouraging seniors to share histories. As winter approached, Eleanor felt peace. Ghosts silenced, heart full. Winter blanketed Willow Creek in snow, mirroring the calm settling over Eleanor's soul. At 94, she moved slower, but her mind sparkled with clarity. The revelation's aftermath had transformed her from recluse to icon, yet she cherished simple joys. Hot tea, grandchildren's visits, the river's murmur. Life's true headlines are written in hearts, she told Lily one evening, as they watched flakes fall. The movement grew. Elders nationwide shared stories, Holocaust survivors, civil rights marchers, indigenous leaders. Eleanor's face graced billboards. Speak your truth. Calls flooded her line. She listened, advised. Fear not the storm, it's the silence that drowns. Harlan thrived as reformer. The Memorial Park bustled with events, jazz concerts honoring Jeremiah, workshops on equity. You saved us, he told Eleanor at a dedication. She smiled. We saved each other. Alma relocated nearby, opening a cultural center. Daddy's dream, she said. They co-hosted talks, bridging races. One session, a young black student asked, how do we forgive? Eleanor replied, by remembering humanity in all. The answer resonated, viral clips spreading. Clara's bill passed federal funds for historical injustices. Your spark lit the fire, she emailed. Eleanor replied. Together, we fan the flames of justice. Personal joys abounded. Lily announced pregnancy. Naming her Rosie, if it's a girl, to reclaim the name. Eleanor wept happily. Full circle. But health faltered. A fall hospitalized her. Family rallied. In bed, she reflected. The hook of that fateful call led to Thiskich tin, twists, humanity's triumph. Discharged, Eleanor hosted a gathering. Marcus's family attended, sharing gratitude. Toasts raised. To Eleanor, voice of the ages. Spring bloomed. Eleanor turned 94. A parade honored her, floats depicting the fire, redemption. She waved from a car, crowd cheering. Headlines. Town celebrates hero grandmother. Yet, quiet moments revealed depth. Alone, she wrote letters to descendants, urging kindness. Mistakes teach, love heals. One day, a surprise, Jeremiah's great-grandson, a musician, composed a song, Flames to Freedom. Performed at the park, it moved all to tears. Your daddy's spirit lives, Eleanor told him. As summer waned, Eleanor's energy faded. I've said my piece, she confided to Alma. Ready for rest. In her final weeks, visitors came, reporters, admirers, friends. She shared wisdom. Age is a crown, wear it boldly. One night, surrounded by loved ones, Eleanor slipped away peacefully. Her last words, keep speaking. Funeral drew thousands. Harlan eulogized. She revealed not just a secret, but our better selves. Alma added, she taught forgiveness's power. Legacy endured. The book, center, initiatives thrived. Willow Creek became Truth Town, tourists learning history. Years later, Lily's daughter, Rose, read Grant's story. She changed the world, Lily said. Rose nodded, and taught us to be human. The revelations echo, one voice, rippling eternally.